Hello and welcome to this edition of Tech24 with me, Rebecca Bowring. Coming up in the programme, Sarkozy, Olander, Bowring and Dorsey, French presidential candidates cozy up to the founder of Twitter. We ask why the Elysée is going gaga for social media and whether blogs are so 2007. A virtual bulletin board for sharing images based on your hobbies. Pinterest's already pulled in over 13 million users, but some are worried their posts may be illegal. More on the latest social media craze in Test24. @Jack has been rather popular in Paris lately. Last week, the Twitter founder met with 3 French presidential candidates, prompting, unsurprisingly, a barrage of tweets. Twitter is great because it forces us to be concrete, simple and direct, offers centrist François Bayrou. @Jack will meet Nicolas Sarkozy tonight at the Elysée to discuss Twitter in France. That was the French president speaking in the third person. And socialist François Olander tweeted to Jack directly, saying he was glad to meet him. Eric Olander, our internet editor-in-chief, is here. Eric, 3 very different reactions from the candidates after their meeting with Dorsey. What did they have to gain from that meeting, and what about him? What was in it for him?
My goodness, you would have thought it was the second coming from what happened last week when Jack Dorsey showed up in town. Now, there was a lot of buzz across both the French press and, of course, on Twitter as to what was he doing here. Is he here to advise secretly the Sarkozy campaign on how to better use Twitter? Is he here to promote? At the end of the day, in my view, this was promotion for both sides. Twitter wants to go international. Twitter wants to expand its base. Twitter wants to follow the lead of Facebook, where 70% of Facebook's audience is international, overseas from the United States. They know they need to grow this market. And at the end of the day, that was the reason for the visit, nothing political.
And we saw lots of photographs, didn't we? Nicolas Sarkozy or his entourage, in fact.
The famous thumbs up,
the famous thumbs up, this blurry photo that was put onto Instagram. Nicolas Sarkozy has got some catching up to do, hasn't he? I mean, he's fairly new on Twitter. He didn't even have an account before he said that he was running for re-election.
Listen, this is a guy who is fairly new to anything technical. From what I still understand, and this may just be hearsay, but from what I understand, he still has his emails printed out and given to him. So this is not a very tech-savvy guy. At the end of the day, he does recognize that Twitter's important. Or maybe should I rephrase that? His political advisors recognize that Twitter's important. So he just launched his Twitter account. He's got a lot of followers. He's not really using it to the best of its potential. That you have to look to the United States, where the American presidential candidates are really doing a lot with it.
Let's talk about them in a moment, but just to say that he's also joined Foursquare, and it seems like candidates here in France are becoming more promiscuous as well on social networks, as in they're trying to the scattergun approach and spread themselves across as many as they can.
Well, it's really just something new for the French candidates. They're getting into it. They're really 5 or 6 years behind where the United States candidates are, and they're using all of them: Foursquare, Twitter, Facebook, and whatnot. Is it effective? Is the French electorate tuned into that? That's hard to tell. We'll see at the end of this campaign if it's effective and if it's able to get out the youth vote, which is really who I think they're targeting.
Now, why are they so far behind the United States then?
Well, this is not unique to social media. A lot of the trends start in the United States and then make their way not only to France, but other parts of the world as well. So typically in France, it's about 4 to 5 years, and that's across the range in Europe as well. But other countries are even farther behind in that sense. So that's one area where the United States has done very, very well, is on that technical innovation, that technical leadership. A lot of these products are actually built in the United States, so they get their first test bed there.
It's all about social media, though, this year, isn't it? Because there was an article that Rue 89, the French news website, published earlier this month. They argued that blogs were all the rage in 2007, and now that they're essentially dead as a political tool, it's all about social media campaigning. Do you agree?
Well, it is all about social media, but blogs are a form of social media in a sense, so I wouldn't call blogs dead. They got a lot of attention early on because they were really the only thing. But now we've got Facebook, Pinterest, Foursquare, Twitter, all of those coming in together, and even more. So it's really spread out a lot more rather than just being focused only on blogs, which 5 years ago is all we had.
Thanks very much for that, Eric. Stay with us. Test24 is coming up next. Last month, this social network had over 100 million unique visits. It's driving more traffic than Google+, YouTube, Reddit and LinkedIn combined. Yet you've probably never even heard of it. Pinterest lets users collect and share photographs of things they love via a virtual pinboard. Eric, who uses it and how do you become a member?
Well, right now, a lot of people are using it. Let's take a look at some of the statistics on Pinterest. 12 million page views a week, 12 million uniques a month. This is really an incredible, it's the fastest growing social network and website in history. So let's take a look at it. Who's using it? Mostly women. Yes, it's mostly women. That's changing, though, a little bit here. Let's take a look at some of the pages here. Now, Pinterest is basically an electronic digital pinboard. And you can see here, I'm here on the home page, and I want to take a look at a picture that Alex Stupak has taken of a dish. So he's gone out into this site, and put a pin on this picture. Now that is what's causing a little bit of controversy right now, because you can go around on shopping sites, on other news sites, and you can put a pin on pretty much anything, or you can put a pin on collections. Here we've got somebody who's collecting international license plates, if you can imagine.
So quite niche, some of these, aren't they?
It is very, very niche, and it allows people to see everybody's hobbies. Now, there's nothing private about Pinterest. Everything is open and public.
Is there a problem then with copyright violation?
There is a problem with copyright. So let's take a look at this cute little dog right here. Now, I don't know who actually shot this picture. This picture could have come from iStock Photo, which is a service that sells its pictures. Now, iStock has come up and said, wait a minute, you're taking pictures from our site that we sell, we own the copyright, and you're putting them out there, for everybody to use and to copy. Now, also the terms of service for Pinterest, that's another thing to remember. The terms of service says that Pinterest owns the picture.
Which Facebook used to do.
Facebook used to do that as well, and a lot of people are upset about that, saying, wait, no, you can't just come into my site, take my picture, and then claim you own it. So they've got some growing pains that they're having to deal with right now.
Do you think they can get over those hurdles, though?
They can. Facebook got over these hurdles to a large extent, so they have some bugs to work out in terms of the terms of use. What we do know is Pinterest is hugely popular, and it really shows the vulnerability of Facebook in that maybe Facebook, the 800-pound gorilla, may not be around forever because there are other social networks that are coming
And
up.
there's space for other social networks.
There is a lot of space. 12 million uniques a month is a lot of action.
Now, a lot of brands are getting free promotion on this site, and yet the site doesn't seem to be making any money.
Well, the business plan, like with Twitter, even like with Facebook, when they first come out, they don't have a monetization plan. That may change, though, in the next 6 to 12 months.
So you feel optimistic about this social media darling
Oh,
continuing to grow?
absolutely. I mean, I think maybe if it's not this one, it will be others, but there is a lot of money to still be made in social media.
So you better start sending out some invitations to join it.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much for that, Eric. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for in this edition of Tech24. A reminder, of course, to check in with us on our Facebook page. We love hearing from you, the URL coming up on your screen right now. We finished this week with the start of a life. Born on Board's time-lapse pregnancy entitled Introducing has chalked up over 7 million viewings in just a couple of weeks, making little Amelie Amaya a true YouTube star. If only babies really were born that easily. See you again next week.